from 1984 to 2023. How in the world do you keep this longevity?
I don't know, but I'm trying.
I mean, is it the bloodlines? Is it? Tell me what all goes into this. I mean, you're talking about a historic career, and I'm just going to say it for you because you will not brag on yourself. You're a humble man, but I'm going to brag for you. This man, ladies and gentlemen, and I tell you, Dick, this blows me away. I'm just going to read this off to a few people. 1984, 1986, 2008, Hunter of the Year, Southeastern Tree and Walker Days is where that was awarded, correct?
Right.
Okay. Then you have, and then 2006, Tara was also indicted into the Hall of Fame, correct?
Right.
Okay. So we got Hall of Fame, Grand Night Champion, Grand Champion, World Champion, Charlie Creek Tara. She was indicted to Hall of Fame at the 47th Annual Tree and Walker Days, ladies and gentlemen. Then at the 64th Annual Tree and Walker Days, Dick Brothers again, Grand Night Champion, Charlie Creek Mac. And then in the 65th Annual, again, Dick Brothers, Hall of Fame, Grand Night Champion, Grand Champion, Charlie Creek Big Mike. Now, Dick Brothers, I want to know the magic potion. What
when
is
you
it?
have winning bloodline, you keep it.
So, and I'm glad you said winning bloodlines because what goes into a winning bloodline and what kind of dedication does it take for that?
A lot of trial and error. And if you, I've been asked before, if you make a bad cross, you scrap your bloodline. But you don't. You build on that.
Right, right. What is something that you like building on the most?
A
What is
dual purpose hound.
a dual purpose hound? Speaking of dual purpose hounds, that's something I absolutely love. I love a dog that can show. I love a dog that can hunt. And Dick, I want to ask you something, and I see it quite a bit, and I'm not poking fun or poking fingers at anyone, but what folks I feel like we get away from at times, you talk about bloodlines, let's talk about genetics, and then let's talk about conformation a little bit. If that hound is not built right, that hound is going to have problems. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And so you like, excuse me, you said you like a dual purpose hound. That means you know what you like for your hound to look like conformationally so he can move right. And you also know what you're looking for in the woods.
Right.
What are you looking for in the conformation, Dick?
A dog that moves around good,
Yeah.
and if you have a litter of pups, you're not going to pick out ugly pups. You're going to pick a pup that has $500 worth of looks right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that way you're already head of the game, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. I don't want old SpongeBob sitting over there when you got a Ferrari.
No, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not, Jason.
Dick, what do you think is one of the most overlooked things in the sport of coon hunting as far when it comes to, let's just go strictly to training? What is something that gets maybe done too much?
You start a pup, you have to let a dog be a pup and advance at their own speed. You can't make a dog do something that he don't want to do or have the mentality to do it yet.
Can't force the hunt into him, can you, brother?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. You know, I had a gentleman write me the other day and he asked me about a young dog and he said, what are some tips? I said, how old's your dog? That's the first question I asked. And he said 11 months old and she's just barely running and treeing. Well, Dick, there's some dogs out there, and I'm sure you maybe experienced the same. I had one didn't start till it was almost 15 months old.
Right.
And I think that impatience at times is probably maybe our own worst enemy. I think if we're all a little more patient, like you're talking about, that's the key.
Patience is everything, and a dog will show you when it's ready to start.
Explain that to me when you say that. What is the dog showing you?
If I hunt a dog and he just constantly wants to play, he's not ready to start. But if you hunt a dog and he goes out with the other dogs, stays gone, he wants to learn something.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
You know, my cheddar dog, I love my cheddar dog. And I talked to you
Yeah.
about him. And Dick, I tell you what, first time I took him to the woods, it was with a shot dog. And Daddy was with me. Shot rolled right. This puppy has never saw a live coon in his life. He cut left, got on his own track, fell treed. Dad looked at me. He said, "There's no way." So about that time, old shot rolled over there and backed him. Went over there. He had his own raccoon. Now, that was his first time ever in the woods. Does that happen every day? That's the first pup I've ever taken in the woods, and the first time he ever went in the woods, he treated a coon. That was my first time it happening. He was just a natural,
Yeah.
but
You
it
know,
doesn't happen like that often.
no, yeah. I do a lot of yard work also, you know,
Please
and
tell me
a
more
pup
about
can
that,
tell me
about your yard
when
work.
it's, uh, a pup can tell me in yard work when he or she is ready to start. I work a lot of pups on coon scent and drag. You know, some pups, when you show them life's coon in the cage, they get scared.
Scares them to
They
death.
they don't get scared on coon scent.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Dick,
That's a big difference.
it is a huge difference. I had on a lady, a canine nutritionist. Her name was Holly Barker. She said something so interesting to me, and I wanted to bring this up to you and get your thoughts on it. It made complete sense to me. She says, when you take that animal and you put that animal in that trap, you're dealing with a scent hound. You're therefore turning that scent hound into a visual hound. And then I didn't know this, and I learned this on this podcast with Miss Barker. She says when a dog engages, they lose their sense of smell. Did you know that?
Yeah, probably. I can see that.
Absolutely. So that intrigued me. And then she said, and then not only that, when you harvest a raccoon and it hits the ground, your dog runs over there and it grabs it. She says, not only does it not smell like a raccoon no more, it smells like its feces. Glands get released. A lot of different things happen in that process. And she says, so showing a live animal like that can actually be a detriment.
Right.
Made a lot of
I
sense.
and you know, I think it can.
Yeah, yeah. And what's your view? I hear a lot of folks sometimes, they like their dog to go out there, get treed, and they're gonna knock every single coon out. What in the world? Do you think that's right?
Well, when coons is worth a lot of money, I shot every coon I treat, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I don't do it anymore. You know, I train more for competition hunting, and you can't kill all those coon. Yeah, when you kill every coon, it causes a true problem I've seen: aggression and going back to trees. You know, it can cause some problems.
And that's something that I really wanted to tap on because it really had caused some issues with me in my past with hounds. I used to knock every coon out to them because I hunt a lot of farms, and they're a nuisance and they need to be taken care of and managed. But that don't mean we have to knock every one of them out. And so I
Oh,
was taught,
you have to knock the right one out.
hey, what's the right one, Mister Brothers?
When a dog split treed by herself.
Hey, there it is. I hope everybody remembers what you just said. There's so much truth in that. So
Yeah.
much. So much. What year did you get started in the sport of coon hunting?
About 1972.
1972. What was your first dog?
A dog named Joe. He was by Miller's Rock, and he was a super tree dog back in. Uh, and he was a third or fourth strike dog, but a well tree dog.
Oh,
So back then you didn't find many good tree dogs, tape tree dogs per se.
What was the difference in those dogs?
The difference back then, well, we had 3 hour hunts back in.
Right.
You know, dogs were pretty much together, and you had to know your dog inside and out. Not like today, most of these dogs are by themselves. It don't take much of a handler to call a dog this day and age.
Right. Yeah, those dead loners.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Not every. I like a dog out of a truck. I want him on that first coon treed.
Right.
You know, but I don't like jealous dog, but I like an independent dog. And years ago, when I got Charlie Creek Mac, I bred 5 bitches to him, and he showed back then. Not very many dogs did, but he threw split tree dogs back then.
Mm.
And Tara was pretty much a dead loner by herself.
Yeah, I would love to talk these hounds. Let's start with Tara, and I would like for you to tell me the differences between each hound all the way down to timer.
Well, a Mac dog was a super good strike dog, and jam up tree dog had a big old mouth, and he was impressive. And but he would split tree, and he would run a track. I don't like a trailing dog. I like a track dog.
Right.
Is a difference. And
Let's explain the difference, what you mean between that.
okay, a trailing dog is a dog that starts a cold track out and trails and trails and trails. Eventually, will tree. A track dog is a dog goes hunting looking for a track he can handle and make short work of it.
And keeps on going with it and has something at the end
Yeah.
to show you.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And quick.
That's right.
And quick, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so that was more Mike's style, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now Tara, what was Tara's style?
She was she's a little tight on the ground. Not tight on the ground, but she was more of a third, fourth strike dog.
Okay.
But I think that come from Hillbilly Mac's side, you know. But she was a jam up layup artist. She won many hunts by just treeing coons left and right and straight ahead. That other dogs didn't know her around really, and she was independent from word go. She was treeing her own coons at 6.5 months.
Woo!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. What was your experience making it to the final round of the 1994 World Championship with Tara?
Well, she was the youngest dog to win the world hunt that year, and that held in place for until Insane Jane come along. She broke my record.
I'll be dang. How old was she?
28 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 28 months.
So, and at 2 years, she'd be what, 2 years and 2 months old?
Yeah.
At 2 years and 2 months old, she wins the world.
Right.
Golly. What did
Yeah.
that feel like?
Well, it felt good. You know, we raised her from a pup and trained her. And Kathy chose her out as a puppy.
Who's better pup chooser? You think it's going to be Miss Kathy or you?
I don't know. But she chose a good one there.
You chose a magical one there, huh?
Yeah, she
My
chose
gosh.
a good one.
Well, then you have so you have Big Mike. Let's talk about Big Mike.
Big Mike was natural independent. He didn't tree much with the dogs, but he did some out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real hard hunting dog. You couldn't hunt him down, and he had through the country by himself. He could run a track,
Mm.
and like he was tied to it. He would also tree a lab coon with ease, but he was a big winner.
Yeah.
I placed him in the top 20 of the world hunt 3 years in a row. Charlie Creek likes Height Sarah.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, she won the 1997 Walker Days, and and uh, won Friday and Saturday night both with good scores. And she's a first and first type dog, and she would be by herself naturally. Really.
Yeah. She's a straight up coon dog.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah.
She could
Yeah.
track, and I placed her. Leave me a fan, and I owned her myself, and she placed fifth on the printing circuit that year, but we had to pull her out because she had heartworms and get her
Oh,
treated, you know. But I won many breed hunts with her: English Day, Blue Tick Day, Spot Days, and I we won when the Canadian Autumn Open. We won there with her 1 year, and she was a real big winner.
wow. Wow. And then you have Big Timer.
Right.
You know, now let's talk about Big Timer. Uh, tell me a little bit about Big Timer. What age he really got started, and,
Uh,
and kind of
he,
how he came about.
Bobby over me partnership on him, and I said to Bobby, "Would you drive to Pennsylvania and get a pup for me, and I will give you half." So he kept Timer till he was 5 months old, and Timer was treeing on scent drags at 3.5 months old, and I'm not mean barking, I mean treeing.
And getting
And
after it.
he was out of good cross. There was eight. Well, she had 14 pups, but she only raised 8 of them.
Mm.
And I think they're definitely 4 Grand Knights out of the cross and several PKC champions. And I don't know, but that was good cross on Timer. What Timer's off of, and but he started out really good, and Bobby. Well, I had my stroke, and Bobby came all the way out to Iowa, took Earl and Big Timer, and hunted them for me for 6 months, and before I could get down, get Big Timer and Earl back,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then uh, Timer was top 8 or Walker Days 2 years in a row. He was in the Super State quarterfinals 2 years in a row out of 3. And then he got Erlickia, so called screwed him up for a while, really. Yeah.
Licky is
That's,
tough on a hound. It's
yeah.
really tough.
Oh, yeah. Very tough.
Well, he's an honor to have in my kennel. I'll tell you what, it's an honor to share him with you, and I don't know what else to say, but thank you, and it's just an honor to have this type of hound in my kennel. Now, something I
Right.
want to talk to you about though, Dick. How long have you been breeding this line of dogs?
37 years.
37 years. Woo! I don't even know what to say to that.
Older than you, buddy.
Holy mackerel! I'm 39. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The longevity is a big deal. And when I speak longevity, what I'm speaking about is how you keep this consistency in your hounds. Do you feel like that comes from just breeding really, really top-notch females to great males, or what do you think the female ratio to the male ratio is there?
Well, both ways. You got to have a good reproducing male dog too. But
Yeah.
the females have always been my backbone. I'm a female man by the word go, so to speak. I females. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I've been blessed. I have really some good male dogs too. But only thing with a female, they come in heat twice a year. And I don't like that. And if I weren't running for a pup ticket or want to go to hunt, they're in heat.
It never fails, does it? It's always every time you go to
Right,
a big hunt, boom.
right.
Oh, that drive
But
me crazy. See, I'm a male dog hunter. I've hunted about I think only one female over the years, and it's that thing. I can't handle it. It's just I can I don't want to deal with it. And then
right.
some of them lose their mind.
Well, some do, but really, I'm not had a female that so-called lost their mind the way some people say they do. But some female, you get the right female, she's real competitive.
Yeah,
Uh, I think females mean more business in a cast than male does.
I agree.
Uh, you know, there again, some males will be more competitive, and some females will be more competitive too.
That's right. That's exactly
You know,
right.
depend depend on the dog, the way they are trained, and the
How
way they.
gritty that grit.
Yeah, yeah, they have to want to go.
That's right. That's right. They gotta love it. I've always said if you anytime I've ever hunted with a great hound, when that hound was cut off the leash, you knew
Oh yeah, yeah.
it. I never forget the first time I ever watched Breaking Bad Spider, and Daddy cut him off that leash. Oh my gosh, Dick! I just said, "Whoa!" It was just like a quarter horse was leaving, and then it was the same thing. I mean, it's amazing to watch a good dog. You know when you're with a good dog,
Well, just like a good handler or dog trainer, they love it just like the dog does.
and they show it too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. They say, "Oh man, you make a big deal over Chet." I said, "No, I love my dog."
Right?
It's
Yeah.
just that simple. If y'all can't handle me loving on my dog, then just don't look because I love him.
Right. Yeah.
But let's go ahead and let's talk about your line of dogs.
My line of dogs has always been somewhat straight, and yeah, if they did a little traction, it was easy correction.
Yes, sir.
And, uh, they were they have always been layup artists, as a rule. They've always been big hunting dogs and accurate, and head full of brains.
Gotta have
Says
that
a lot.
sense.
Yes, sir.
I've always said, my dad said the same thing, son. If they have it right here, they ain't got it nowhere.
And great mouths too. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I won't hunt a dog with a bad mouth.
no, no.
I will
Why
not.
would you want to? I can hunt a dog with a weak mouth if they are winter, but I don't like to.
I'd rather not.
No, just just like his silk bitch. She's only 15 months old, and she got a super locate, super mouth, and good dog, and she loves it.
Tell me a little
Uh,
bit about Silk.
she's type of dog. I think I'm gonna win big with her next year. She just loves it, and you can't hunt her down.
Really?
No,
I
no.
want to hunt with it.
Yeah,
I want to hunt with it.
that's the kind of dog I like. But yeah, I have a fire bitch. She's out of Charlie Calais semen, and she's a good bitch on right, and she's really accurate, just like his strain of dogs have been for 37 years.
Now
And
let's talk about this line of dogs. When we're talking about this line of dogs, let's talk specific names. What did these dogs go back to? Where did it kind of all originate? And
oh,
then how did you build it?
well, the Mac dog was a grandson, Spring Creek Radar, and a grandson of Red-Headed Dick, and a great grandson of Tennessee Lead. So when I got him, I just competition hunted him, and I bred him, like I said, 5 females, and I seen that he was going to reproduce right away. So then I built off of that. I liked particular bloodlines. I chose a bloodline and did my homework. Uh, you don't have individual reproduce. You got to have families reproduce.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Yeah. Now, my mom, she's been in the show business for years, breeding these show hounds, and to watch what she has accomplished has been pretty amazing.
Oh,
But it's all about consistency, Dick. Building that consistent block, layer by layer by layer by layer. I remember my mom started with 2 dogs, and then she just built off those 2 dogs, and she just built to what the standard was and what she wanted. And it
right.
seems like with you figured it out.
Well, I hope I did.
It sounds like you did, man. Great
I
day.
hope I did. But
Whew.
I've had setbacks too. Just like every breeder or every houndsman. You have. If you hunt hard enough, you're going to have setbacks.
That's right. And those setbacks is when you really learn.
Yeah,
That's
you just
exactly right.
you just wipe your butt off and jump back and go at it again.
That's right. My daddy had a really nice dog in the competition hunt one night, and this dog was a solid dog. It was up in Georgia somewhere. Anyways, he cut him in there. It was a cast. He cut him in there. Dog's running there. This dog, I'm talking about, was a hunting full, Dick. Like knocked the tailgate off the truck. He run back to the truck so fast. And Dad looked at Mom and looked at me and he said, "What in the world?" And Dad looked down at that dog. He said, "You see that dog cowering?" Dog in there ate him up.
Right,
He said, "Do you know that dog never hunted again, Dick?"
right.
That ended him.
Some dogs can cake it, some dogs can't, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Really.
Yeah,
And uh, that's why I don't want to put a young dog in a hunt too quick, for fear of them getting ate up. You
mm,
know, and uh, the Sarah dog we had. Getting back to Sarah, she was only I think 13 months old. We had her UKC hunt in Michigan. She was destroying that cast. She already had over 1,000 points, and uh,
1,000.
a 9-year-old bitch ate her up, and
Oh,
she lost that cast by 25 points. And and then the very next weekend, Lee McFan took her to PKC hunt and grew Gary Davis maw dog. She was ill and got her ate up again.
oh,
And it took Lee months and months and months to get her back right.
I don't understand it, Dick.
I don't understand it. I hate a mean dog. I won't hunt a mean dog. I've had some ill dog myself, but I wouldn't put them in the hunts out
No,
of
sir.
out of respect for other people.
That's
And
exactly right.
that respect. Younger generation don't have much respect anymore. I don't guide my hunt spots anymore because I've caught several people going back and but if I'm guided to a spot and a guide is good enough to put me in his bets hunting, I have enough respect for him not to go back.
Amen. Amen. Dick, a lot of folks have asked me why I hunt alone. And I hate to tell them, and it's not me being rude. It's because of my exact worry right there, because I've had it happen.
Right. I hunt 99% myself.
Yeah. And I hunt a lot of farms, and I mean, those farmers, they believe in me, and they can trust me. But if they ever find someone out there poaching or doing something silly, I'm gonna take the fall for that.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So, and that's something I hope people understand. We're not being rude. Dick's not being rude. We're being very honest with you folks. It's just
You
because we got
gotta
to protect it.
you gotta protect your sport
That's right. That's right.
and the people you hunt on too.
Absolutely right. When
Okay.
it comes to competition hunting, you're the handler. Mentally, what is that mindset? What is the mind of a winner? I mean, it's apparent you know how to win. You got world champions. You're in the Hall of Fame, handler of the year multiple times, 3 times. Tell me what goes into being that handler.
You gotta do your homework first, and you have to have the right mindset. You gotta have thick skin too,
Like
and
leather.
yeah, you know, and when I first started, I would get nervous, but I don't get nervous anymore. Just like every day walking down the street.
My dad tells me Dick all the time. He and I used to get super nervous, especially that first drop. That first drop, I'd blow out. Boy, he'd tell me, he'd say, "Son, let me tell you something. I don't want to hear your voice not one time until everybody says something."
Right.
And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Let everybody go ahead and get that strike, get all that crap blown out of the way. You settle down and you take your 25 and be safe, and you build." He said, "Now, if you know that dog good enough, that's when you go to call. That's when you get faster." But I think that's what you mean as well, is you got to build that bond and that relationship.
You have to have a bond with a dog, really.
Let's talk
And
about that.
yeah, you know, uh, you don't have a lot of handlers pass a dog around. You have to have a bond with a dog,
What do you
really.
do? What do you do to bond with them?
I just give him time in a kennel, in the yard, back in the yard, and I play ball with him, and I let them be a dog,
Right.
and
Right.
just have fun, and then when I take him hunting, uh, they mean business. I mean business too, and uh, you can overcorrect a dog sometimes. You can overhunt a dog sometimes. Uh, you have to make it enjoyable too. And when you make a dog enjoyable, they will perform for you very well.
Ah, man. I don't even know what to say to that. That's pretty cool because
Yeah.
that's been my destiny, and that's something I've been trying very hard to do, and I was able to accomplish that with Cheddar, and he's just my dream dog. I'm not saying he's a world champion, anything like Tara or anything like Mike or Big Mike or even even close to the current. I mean, I don't even want to talk about him being great, but he means a lot to me because I know him so well and I enjoy him and
Right.
he loves it.
Well, you raise him, you spend a lot of time with him, Jason. Yeah, you
Yeah,
bonded with.
you do. And when you go in there consistently, Dick, and I mean consistently, and that's why I go live on the time all the time with him and I show people this dog is as accurate as I've ever hunted in my life. I mean, it is unbelievable how accurate he is. But the thing is, he's having fun. I don't want to mess that up.
A competition hunter's like a competition dog. Uh, some guys are really good competition hunters, and some dogs has got the extra. If
Yeah,
you don't have the extra, you don't have a winner.
yeah.
You can win some, but you don't have a consistent winner night after night after night.
What's that consistent winner consist of?
Just example, Silk. She loves it. She'd never not hunted for me. And I started her out as a pup. She didn't know anything, but she caught on really quick. She recast great. I did a lot of recasts with her. You know, I remember one night she made 14 trees, 13 single coons, one slick tree, and went back to a coon one time. But I scolded her and sent her on, recasted her. That's the way I hunt her a lot.
I love that you talk about recasting. That is something that I focus on majorly. It's a big deal to me, and I think it should be a bigger deal to more people. How do you train your dogs to recast?
I've always recast a dog for 37 years. You know, really. Uh, when coon hides were money, I would recast a dog in the woods several times, or five or six. Or uh, as long as they keep treeing coons, I would.
How do you
So,
keep them going on?
uh, well, I just pull them off a tree, walk them 5 or 10 feet, and recast them. You know, uh, if a dog is smart, they will catch on really quick what you want.
It's all about that brain again, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Brains,
You got to have
brain,
brains.
brains.
That's right. That's right. Now, let's go to the handler aspect of things. When you're out there and it's all on the line, Dick, and which it's always all on the line. Anytime in your hunt, it's always on the line. Um, what is your mindset as far as your dog and calling it? Are you a fast caller? Do you like to give your dog time? What how do you react?
Be depends on the situation.
Okay.
If I got a dog that's split tree, I don't have to be a fast caller. But if they are in a pack, or I need a first tree or first strike, I call really quick.
Sometimes you got to
You
call on that first locate.
depends on the situation, Jason. You know, and really, But why would you jeopardize a hunt to call a dog tree quick at the end of the hunt if you didn't need that call?
I've been
But,
guilty of it, and I've done it out of anger.
well, I've been guilty of it too before through my years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First time I ever it really felt like I really lost a hunt. I done it out of anger.
Right,
Let someone get the best of
right.
me.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
can see that.
and that's something I wanna explain to folks. You can't let people get over on
Right,
you. You can't. You can't. You gotta have. You mentioned earlier about thick skin, and I mean I'm gonna tell you something, folks. If you're going competition hunt, you better just flat out have thick skin and shut up and keep going.
right.
I mean, that's the most important thing. Sitting out there bickering, arguing, and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you something right now. That night taught me a lot, and I'll never forget that night. But here's something I want to also tell everyone out there. I promise you, when you draw a Dick Brothers or me, you're gonna go by what the scorebook says, folks. Rules are rules, and they are meant to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And
that's not being a jerk, is it, Dick?
no, it's a good judge.
That's right. A, a,
And
a good
I,
judge is
I
a smart judge, just like your dog is.
yeah, and I'm going to start judging this year every hunt.
Good. I'm glad to hear you're gonna be back
Yes,
judging.
sir.
I,
Yes,
I
sir.
I think that, and this ain't poking at nobody, Dick, but it's something that everybody really does need to learn. You're gonna have to learn to get that thick skin if you're gonna get in there and roll with the big boys.
Yeah, yeah,
You
somewhat. But
yeah.
I I met a lot of so-called big boys, and they were good to me. But they knew they knew Dick Brothers, and some people try to pull stuff, but not too much for me.
It is what it is. Let me tell you something. Anytime you got a nice dog, they want to beat you. And sometimes it's just people being overly competitive and it gets to the best of us at times.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's what happened that night. And ain't no need to even talk about it. But here's the
Right,
thing about it. My point is behind all that, Dick, is like you said earlier, that thick skin mentality, you got to be mentally strong and you got to know that dog.
Well, you got to be mentally strong, physical strong to be a competition hunter.
Amen.
You got to have your dog prepared, and you got to have yourself prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really.
What do you do to prepare yourself?
Hunt every night.
Hunt every night.
Yeah, about every night. I 73 years old. I probably hunt 5 nights a week, consistently.
Woo!
Yeah, really.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Dick. I do not do that.
Right, right. Well, you know, uh, when I want to get the most out of the dog, I I work on certain characteristics and want to achieve out of that dog.
Mm-hmm.
Just like recasting. If a dog don't recast, I'm going to work on that. I'm so used to doing, I don't see if I'm working on it per se, but I do the same techniques about to every dog, but I don't know how to answer that. I
Yeah.
just so stuck in my ways, so to speak. It's come
Just
to
comes
second
natural.
natural to me.
Yeah, well, I can see that happening. I mean, it was the same thing, kind of like riding bulls when I rode bulls. I mean, I can't
Oh
really explain it,
yeah, right.
but I can't tell you about the ride, but I can tell you I was there.
Yeah, right, right. Well,
And so,
I
and I got,
have a good buddy, Ryan Miller. He was a bull rider too, and I saw him ride several times. He'd been a really good friend to me,
oh, very
and
cool.
I like a good bull ride.
I like a good bull ride, but I just hate it when it got rough. You hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
goodness gracious. So
Yeah.
let's talk dogs. People say all the time they want a great competition dog, and there's a difference between a pleasure dog and a competition dog. Now,
Uh,
in my opinion, if there's going to be a dog on my leash, it better be both.
I hunt the same type of dog I've always hunted for years. I say there's no competition dog or pleasure dog. I hunt the same type of dog year round.
Yes, sir. Coon dog's coon dog.
Uh, you know, I don't want a dog to hang around me. If you want to walk a dog through the woods, so be it. But I'm not walking a pet per se.
Right.
And I just hunted the same type of dog for 37 years. There have always been winners and competition dogs, but there have also been coon terriers.
Right. And at the end of the night, that's what it boils down to. You want to have coonhound,
Right,
you
right.
know, and that. Now I see that big old buck right there over your right shoulder. I mean,
Yeah,
great day. What's the deal on him?
that was double drop time deer. He scored 173. And see, you see this one?
Holy mackerel!
That was bow kill, 197.
197.
Yeah, from
Whoa!
Iowa. Yeah, yeah,
Woo. What did that
yeah.
feel like?
Real good.
Real good.
When you hunt a deer one on one, you have done something.
It gets personal, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to you a week or so ago, and I told you about a buck that I'm on, and it's gotten so personal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that the day I don't go, Dick, that rascal, he is there.
Yeah. Right. You just have to figure them out, Jason. I had a boy call me this year. He'd been hunting a buck for 2 years, and uh, I have to take some credit. He got that buck this year, but he called me to ask me how to hunt that deer.
Uh,
And what I told him, he killed that deer, and with the information I give him. I feel proud of him, and I'm glad I could help some people.
Well, that's pretty cool. What was the info?
Well, he said that he had got that buck on camera last 2 years, but he hasn't seen him in the daylight hours. So he moved cameras around, and he was getting a buck on 3 cameras, but not consistently. So then he seen that buck in daylight hours, and he said, What should I do? He's not close enough, Dick." I said, "Well, if the rut is in, you hang a stand after dark in his bedding area." And he killed him coming in to his bedding area the next day.
Took a man out of his own house.
Yes, sir. I've hunted several big bucks, hung stands after dark, and hunted them next day, and they killed that deer.
Wow,
You
man.
have to catch them by surprise. You have to get in their wheelhouse, so to speak. You know,
Hey,
yeah,
I'm telling you, it's so much fun. I mean, that rush of just, I love bow hunting. It's something I'm just stuck on. I absolutely love it. And
right,
it gets personal. You get up there, that 15 to 27 yard shot. That's my bread and butter. I love it.
yeah,
And I like them real close. And here in Florida, we had this hurricane come through this past year. And buddy, I am hunting a bunch of blowovers, and you talking about rough.
yeah.
Oh, uh,
It's tough, isn't it?
it's rough. Even I have a farm that I hunt, and it was unbelievably beautiful hunting, and now it's destroyed. I mean, all the trees are blowed over. I mean, I had a video of timer the other night, and same thing. I mean, it was just so thick to get the timer. By the time I got the timer, Dick, he was overheated, and it was 30 something degrees.
Right, right.
I mean, you just talking about a canopy of vines and then a bunch of stuff. I don't even know what it is.
Well, when it takes you an hour to get to the dog,
It
uh,
did.
they're going to warm up.
It
So,
did. Now, what do you do to keep your dogs in shape? Is it just hunt? That's the key.
uh, feed a good quality dog feed, Zook and Kinetic, and my dog drank less water on that dog food than prior dog foods, and I carry a bottle of water with me when I'm out hunting. Uh, all my dogs drink out of a water bottle. When I get in competition hunt in real heat of summer, I give my dog some Pedialyte too
Mm, yeah.
in in a water bottle, half and half, depending on the dog. Just like Timer, he had Erlichia, and he gets hot some, and so I was giving him half and half Pedialyte and honey too, 4 times a night. When I was hunting him hard.
Well, and I've noticed, the allergies down here are different as well. And with the allergies and stuff, that honey really helps soothe that throat. I mean, it really does. And so what we
Right.
do is we take half water, half goat milk, raw goat milk, and then a tablespoon of honey. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't let them drink all that at once. I just let them lap at it a little bit. So, woo! I tell you, talking about dogs feeling good, and it keeps them hydrated, energized, and it also lozenges in that throat up.
Well, you want to give a dog raw honey,
Raw,
not raw
Like,
honey.
raw. Yes, sir. I mean, it's always raw honey, and I'm glad you corrected that. So
That's a quick energy, really.
that it really is. It's a great energy, but it's something you don't want to overdo. I mean, you really don't. I mean, you'll find them out there if you overdo it, they'll be humped over. I had
Yeah.
a had a hog hunter call me a few weeks ago. He said, "Man, let me tell you something. My daggone dogs," he said, "they run all night long." He said, "But they pooped." He said, "I ain't never seen them poop that much in my life." I said, how much did you let him drink? He said, all of it. I said, no, no. I like to die. I said, he said they were skiing in it.
But you know, Jason, a good dog, healthy dog, you don't have to do that to. Really, you know, I don't give any just like fire and silk. I just give them regular water. A sick dog that has Ehrlichia and Lyme disease, you know, that can kind of help them, really.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to need that. They're gonna need that pickup every now and again,
Right, right,
because they get overheated a lot easier. So
right.
a little more TLC, a little more attention, and this is where you talk about knowing dogs. This is where knowing hounds in general really comes important, folks. When you have a dog with a licky or Lyme, anything like that, they tend to overheat, and when
Right.
they overheat, and Dick could tell you this. Dick, why don't you explain kind of the process and what you had to go through with Timer?
Timer was a big winner at one time, but at the second Super Stakes, he caught Ehrlichia, and you know that caused by tick disease, you know, and Ehrlichia is worse than Lyme disease. I dealt with that over and over and over, you know, and it kept really relapse on me, and probably I didn't give him quite enough rest between treatments, you know, this and that. But he's always been competitive, and he's won what he's won being a sick dog.
Wow.
Really.
Well, you said to me yourself, you said, Jason, he ain't gonna give you but about 70%. And I'll
Right.
tell you what, I saw what 70% is. I would love to see what his 100 was.
Well, he was a winner. He was a
Oh,
winner, you know, till I got her licky, you know, really. And he's always had a big mouth and opened good on the ground, and you can fall treat on a layup coon. I treat I don't know how many layup coons with that dog.
I watched him the other night. He was working a line, and I had him and Cheddar turned out together. Actually, that was let's see, what, last week? Yeah, last week. And we were hunting him and Cheddar together. And Cheddar was working the left side, and well, he peeled off to the right. One thing I watched different than Cheddar and him right off the bat is the first thing Timer did, throw that head up. He was scanning that edge like a radar.
Yeah, yeah,
And Cheddar had more of his nose down. He'd throw his head up every now and again, but then he'd throw his nose back down. He's more of a track dog, and he will win one quite often, but Timer really scans an edge really, really well.
right.
And,
Yeah.
and now, is that something he's always done really well?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's always been a good track dog and good labor dog, and he was a split tree, you know, everything, you know. But when he got sick, it changed him, and you know, he was always 130 bark a minute tree dog,
Ooh.
but you know, since he got Ehrlichia, that changed him. You know, uh, he was running hot, and I didn't know what was wrong with him. And when a dog doesn't feel good, I change the dog. You know, he didn't used to chew at all. He chews once in a while now, but when just like when he was sick dog, he started jacking a tree. He never jacked a tree ever. He just treed straight up every breath.
Yep.
But you know, that's when I was thinking something was wrong with him. But you know, he was still treeing coons and winning, but I couldn't put my finger on it right
It was
away.
just something was just off.
You know, and I say when you hunt a good dog and there's something going wrong, it's really hard to determine if a good dog, is sick or not right away because they're still performing and still treeing coon and still winning, but there again, they're not performing like they were.
Yep. And that's where coming in being a great handler and really knowing your dog.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean that's the key. You really got to know your dog. That's where coming in being a good handler, knowing what your dog sounds like. I mean, that saved me many a times with dogs overheating, especially down here in Florida. It's easy for dogs to overheat down here.
Right.
And buddy, you got to know what your dog sounds like. A dog that'll bark 100 plus a minute will burn their cells flat to the ground down here if they ain't careful.
Right. Yeah.
And so you got to know sometimes, and if you're hunting in the summertime, especially down here in Florida, which is dangerous, but you got to know what that dog sounds like. So if you can listen to that dog, you can say, man, something about that mouth is just different tonight.
Well, you know what, Jason? Some dog will, some healthy dog will handle heat really good, but some won't.
Correct.
Depends on the dog, on and their makeup, and then their lineage, their breeding. Some dogs, bloodlines are overheat really bad.
Yeah. Well, that we can go back to confirmation with that.
Right, and that's why I kept a stock of dogs. They've always been hard tree dogs, and they always took the heat better than everything else I ever hunted. And when you do a competition hunt in the summer,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
you,
mean, that's
you
when
have,
90%
you
of
have
them
to
are.
have a dog that can withstand heat. You know.
Right. Right. Dick Brothers, what do you think is your favorite win?
The Vernon Miller Award, I was proud of that. And but I would say the World Hunt. You
World
know,
Hunt.
I would like to win it again, but I've had some setback with dogs, just like Timer, Earl Dog, and you know, but I'm still knocking on the door.
Hey, they better look out, huh, buddy?
I don't
you,
know.
you ain't giving up though, are you?
No.
Well,
Uh, if my health holds out, Jason, I will still be there this year, and probably next year, and next year, and next year.
I'm gonna tell you something. I hope we have to keep dealing with your butt, and I hope I gotta beat you every day. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You're a class act, Dick Brothers, and it's an honor to have you on this podcast. It's an honor to be in partners on you with PKC champion and Grand Night champion, Charlie Creek's big timer, Mr. Dick
Yeah.
Brothers, Wayne Hunter, and Jason Hunter. We're all owners now. And he resides now down here in Florida. And Dick, I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for making dreams come true, brother.
Well, that's all right. You're good people, Jason. And I want a timer to go to somebody that will promote him, and we're going to promote him. And I think it will work good for everybody.
It's going to work beautiful. And I tell you, it's just an honor to talk to you. And there's a lot that we can learn from folks like you. And I really appreciate you taking time out of your day. Folks, you don't understand, Dick fought for probably an hour trying to get this app stuff worked out. And he was still patient enough.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, he was still patient enough to make sure he made it on here. And
Well, my patience was running out though.
I know. I said, Nick, just one more time. Let's just try this. So, from the bottom of my heart, Dick Brothers, thank you, and it's been an honor.
Okay, good talking to you, Jason.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
See ya. Join the epic rush to 10K. Your continued likes, shares have pushed Hunter's Wheelhouse to nearly 7,000 followers. I am your host, Jason Wayne Hunter. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming for you, folks. God bless.